When I was a kid, I never felt like I fit in. I never felt like I belonged. I moved through the world watching the adults around me and the people around me, always searching their eyes, watching their expressions to see how they were going to react so that I could be my best self, and so that I wouldn't encourage any kind of negative reactions, whether it be the silent treatment or being reprimanded for having emotion, for speaking my truth, whatever it was. And it wasn't just at home. It was in all environments. And I know I'm not alone in these experiences, especially as a woman, a young girl who was so impressionable and in need of nurturing and genuine protection of not just my identity, but my soul expression, my intuition, my vulnerability, my truest sense of self depended on it, just like so many of us. And so as I moved throughout my childhood and then had crazy experiences that no one could understand, seeing and hearing things and experiencing things and having these premonitions and remembrances, and then being told that it didn't happen and that I had a wild imagination. And as I got older, I continued my education in so many ways, searching for answers to understand myself, dissecting every part of my childhood, of my teenage years, of my choices, the people I chose to be with. Why was that? My parents and their parenting style, how did they end up in that position to experience the world as they did? Questioning everything, all of the thoughts and emotions and experiences that I had, and running them through this really narrow viewpoint, completing a Bachelor of Arts degree, a Bachelor of Social Work degree, Master of Education, becoming a registered social worker, becoming a registered clinical counselor, being trained in EMDR and in recovery in so many different ways to understand myself. I fell into the role, maybe placed, I believe that's much more likely. I fell into the role of a parole officer, not because I chose it, because I was chosen for it. Because my empathy never died. My kindness never left me. My intuition and that pull to offer something of myself to make a difference always remained, regardless of the opposition. And it's interesting because I questioned and challenged everything that I've ever experienced or understood, trying to fit them in a box to explain it. And I spent many years, as we have, most of us have, trying to understand so that we wouldn't replicate the same kind of suffering that we'd been through. And what I've come to learn after having all of this training and experience and exposure to the worst life suffering and perpetration of violence and trauma, what I've come to understand is that none of us fit in a box. None of us. Regardless of how hard someone pushes, regardless of how bad you want it, you don't fit. You can't rationalize it. As I've talked about so many times on this channel, labeling, stereotyping, all of this diagnosing of people as though they are the problem, rather than the environment contributing to this behavior, to this response to something being out of alignment. And so in this new timeline and this experience that we are having, the key, you have likely learned already, is stop pushing. Stop trying to force. Stop trying to fit in a box that was never meant for you because it never really existed. It's an ideology. It's a framing of something so that you see a parameter. And then you, not fitting in ever, not feeling as though you were worthy, not feeling as though you are somehow normal, really put extra effort into that. And right now is the time to literally surrender. Surrender to the fact that you are uniquely you. There's only one of you. You have connections far beyond your understanding. You have extrasensory gifts that are all coming on board, and trying to fit them into one box of this mental placement will make you crazy. The very thing that you think you want, you don't. Fitting in is, as we know, those of us who have lived life and who have self-reflected and self-diagnosed and who have been through the gamut of experiences, who have loved and lost, who have suffered deeply, who have supported others only to find that they were never who you wanted them to be. You could see inside of them that goodness. You could see inside of them the worth that they couldn't see. And you showed them. You loved them. You were authentic and genuine and giving and kind. You get to live with that. And they will live with their decision. No regret. No regret for you. So in this energy of just being and letting the chips fall where they may, you can finally breathe a sigh of relief because you're not in this alone. The collective, those of us who have really tuned in to what is happening right now, you're on the other side. And there are going to be those who are still climbing the mountain and who may never even see that there is one. But your job is not to drag them along with you. You left them back there for a reason, because you were meant to be on this side to help those who are right behind you, who just need you to turn around and show your light so they know the way. Hi and welcome back. It's July 28th, 2026. How have you been sleeping? Been waking up really early? Have you been having vivid, intense dreams ringing in your ears? This feeling as though you have to really concentrate on your movements, on walking. You need to take more breaks. You're feeling as though you really need to sleep in the middle of the day, totally opposite of everything that you've ever known and experienced. And you're trying to rationalize it as though you can think this through. You can find a reason for it that is measurable, that it is peer-reviewed, that it is acceptable to the society that you once knew, that you were trained to fit into. And for those of us who never fit, who always felt othered, who really tried very hard to understand what was expected and how that fit with the world that we knew, that we felt, that we intuitively were connecting with, and not having any kind of role model or leader to guide through those emotional feelings of rejection, feelings of isolation, of disconnection, of unworthiness, because we never met that standard or understood how else we could be, performing, putting on masks, doing whatever we could to just make it through, to survive. And now here we are at a new space, place, time, whatever you visualize this energetic shift to be for you. The words are irrelevant. What you label things, how you fit them into a box, that's an old way. Naming something, even the name you have for yourself, it's all very superficial. So now that we're in this new space of pure authenticity, of seeing things clearly, we've seen them the whole time. Many of us have always seen them because we were othered. So we interpreted and used our extrasensory gifts to help maneuver us through a very unsafe world. And now here we are in a place, space, timeline, continuum where we're exactly where we're meant to be, and we lead the way because we trust our intuition. We're familiar with it, and we're also familiar with the old world, the rules, the standards, the guidelines, all of the dogma and doctrine and systems and structures, because we had to learn them. We had to understand how to jump through hoops. We had to really dig in and invest ourselves in seeing what it meant and why we would do it. The hows and the whys and what, and who does it benefit? All of these things that we knew, and that's why there was such a resistance to fitting in, such a revolt inside of us that said, this makes no sense. And having been on both sides, you're now the expert. You're the expert at understanding how to speak the language in all timelines, connecting with higher source, connecting with that internal soulful being that you are, and having empathy and compassion and recognizing how far some people, some souls have to come to even be able to see what you know, what you see, what you experience, what you feel and sense. And it's that trust in self. It is that having lived through, having had the experience and have gained the wisdom to integrate knowledge through experience and empathize with the feelings that you once had, that now the other side is having. And rather than feeling this need for retribution and revenge and karma to be harsh, you wish the best for them. You wish an easy road, because that's what you wanted for yourself. You wished for someone to understand. You wished for someone to hear. You wished for someone who could gently guide you, who could comfort you and reassure you that everything was going to be okay. And now it's your turn. Be the thing, the person, the experience that you once wished for. Be it for someone else. And recognize contrition when you see it. You will feel it, because we understand superficial everything. And contrition is a deep sense of remorse and a real, authentic desire to change. Recognize it in others. And really be mindful to offer your best and highest self. Everything that you have been through led you to this very moment, so you can offer the wisdom that you have gained, so that the road forward is how you wished it had been for you. Thanks for watching, everyone, for being here, for sharing, liking, subscribing, and most of all for commenting. Please put some of the experiences that you're having through this shifting energy that is happening for us, not to us, balancing out all the inequities, all of the injustices, the imbalance of power, and realigning values, moving through to a new ideology, one that is empathetic, that is considerate. It is kind and thoughtful and generous, and it's inclusive. So until next time, stay safe, stay connected, and we'll see you really soon. Bye.